You sound good.
My toucans.
You're too. Hey, like this, Mr. Sam.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Trek in the Valley, the non-encyclopedic Star Trek The Original Series rewatch podcast, where myself, Adam Ordall Quinnell, and my co-host...
Hey, everyone, it's Al Hirt. What's up?
Mr. Al Hirt. We get together once a week in the San Fernando Valley to discuss usually an episode of Star Trek The Original Series, but as is our way between seasons, we recently finished season 2. We're doing some bonus episodes where we talk about some of the Star Trek movies.
Yes, and now we're on the 2000s.
Yes.
Reboot era, the J.J. Abrams era.
The J.J. Abrams era.
It was just pretty refreshing after the, the fifth. Dude, just Star Trek 5, I can't get out of my head.
How bad
those
it is.
Boots and stuff.
Yeah, the boots. Oh, that's the mountain I was telling you about.
Yes.
What Kirk climbs.
El Capitan.
El Capitan Free Solo is about the first guy to climb that.
Whoa.
Apparently Kirk can just do it too. It's fucking bullshit. You watch that Alex Honnold guy. Yeah, so we watched Star Trek 5, which was terrible, The Final Frontier.
Frontier.
Thank goodness it wasn't The Final Frontier, because then we got Star Trek 6.
The Undiscovered Country.
The Undiscovered Country, which is fantastic.
Yeah, that one's pretty good.
Lots, it's well reviewed. The people I talk to who also like Star Trek enjoy it probably the most of the movies, except maybe Con or whatever. I feel like that's kind of the go.
Con's a gimme.
We talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
Now, last week we talked about the J.J. Abrams, the J.J. Abrams reboot from 2009. Mm-hmm. We had a good time discussing that. I think that movie holds up.
It was a lot of, I saw now lens flare, but other than that.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was not
solid.
It's funny how much better Into Darkness is. Like, it's just far superior, I think, pretty clearly.
Yes.
And then of course, yes, this week we're discussing Star Trek Into Darkness.
That came out 2013.
2013, directed by J.J. Abrams, and it's all the cast returning, and they add some new folks. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a very good movie. I feel like you gotta really
It's so long, but it's very well paced. It doesn't feel long. Everything collides into itself.
It definitely feels like when we were reviewing, we kind of sped through it before the recording. When we were reviewing it, it really does feel like there are multiple endings,
and beginnings.
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah, they do a very good job of the script is very well structured. All the decisions the characters make for the most part are really well motivated. It feels like a much better, tighter script and production than 2009 Star Trek. And
it's already noticeable too that the ship's cast is they have way more chemistry than before. They're way more comfortable with each other. They kind of get their flow.
I think that
the first one's a little stiff.
Yeah, there's absolutely more connection between the principal actors or the principal characters.
What else? The effects are amazing that we've noticed. There's a lot of cool transitions from, you were saying, composite shots.
Yeah, there's lots
into CG and zooming in and backing out and lighting and the lighting that we were always referencing with people's eyes being lit and cheeks and shadows and stuff. There's a lot of that in this movie, too.
It's such a good movie to watch in 4K, man.
Yeah.
I remember, I think we saw this, it would have been 2013, so it was before I was living in Minneapolis. But we would have just saw it on a fairly big regular screen, not like an IMAX. But
IMAX would have been cool. But
oh, dude, it looked so. I remember being blown away, orders of magnitude better than 2009 Star Trek.
Yeah.
Cool. You mentioned that there are multiple beginnings. How does the movie start, Al?
It's funny because that's exactly where we split off right from the start. Because you were like, man, I really like this beginning more, and they both just couldn't fit together, so it was kind of like a redo. But the first beginning that I like is the Star Trek Enterprise is trying to save this volcano from erupting.
Yeah, so the Enterprise is on a mission. Kirk and Bones are running through this very beautiful red forest, and there's a volcano erupting in the background.
And it's just hijinks to get the movie going and stuff, like, right? And it's excitement.
It's a Star Trek adventure.
And then the shtick is that, oh, wait, the Enterprise is in the ocean, and that's how they're hidden and all that. And it's a little schlocky, right? Gets it going. But then it immediately ends and shows like the title and all that, and then cuts into like a super serious tone of these parents worried about their sick child and stuff.
Yeah, so
you're like, wait, what?
So in the opening, this becomes important later, but yeah, Kirk and the gang are trying to save this primitive civilization from being destroyed by a volcano, and Spock has to like go into the volcano.
Yeah.
And he's got to like unleash the ice goo or whatever.
Yeah, there was a point, of course.
Yeah, no, they made it make sense. But basically, the Enterprise, in order to save Spock's life, the Enterprise has to expose itself to these primitive people.
Therefore, coming out of the water and all that. And
yeah, great.
Making a scene.
Yeah, it's a whole to-do. And
it's cool, though.
It's very cool. It was great to see in the theater. And there's a great, like, there's a transition from the primitive people drawing a drawing of the Enterprise on the ground.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to like a shot of the Enterprise top down that matches it. And they dissolve to it. It looks fucking great. Very well edited movie too. Gotta say. And so then, it goes from that lighthearted romp.
You're excited, and
into this very dark, like a sci-fi montage of these these parents whose kid is dying from a future illness.
Yeah, it gets super gritty and real.
And then
it's all Gary.
And then Doctor Strange shows up and he's like, I can save her. And that's what they're going to... Yeah, and then he's like, I'm Doctor Strange. Stephen Strange.
From another universe.
Dr. Stephen Strange.
He could perform surgery because technically he was a surgeon.
Dr. Stephen Strange. He could do his magic surgery, but...
Easy.
Another thing that I want to mention is the father of the sick child is none other than oh my God, I should know his fucking name from
you said Doctor
Who, Doctor
right?
Who. It's Mickey from Doctor Who. What's his name? Oh, poor Mickey. I don't know his name. Oh, Noel Clarke.
Noel Clarke.
Yeah, he played Mickey on the David Tennant Doctor Who seasons and subsequent ones. Tennant. He's so good, and he's so good in this.
Yeah,
so their daughter's dying from a mystery illness, and this guy's like, I can save her. And you're like, ooh. Okay. And then it cuts to Kirk and Spock in San Francisco on their way to Admiral Pike's office. And Kirk is like, Spock, we're going to get a 5-year mission. That's deep space.
Yeah, right. That's so exciting.
That's deep space. Spock, hey. And he like slaps Spock on the chest. It's all very funny.
Yeah.
And then it turns out that that's not what's happening. They're not.
Spock a real, what is it?
A report.
Legitimate report.
Well,
contrary to Kirk's actual report too.
So Pike is like, hey, you guys broke the Prime Directive, and Kirk is like, no, we didn't. And he's like, Spock actually wrote a report that said it did. And Kirk is betrayed, and Spock is like, I figured you knew. Spock is like, I figured you'd be truthful on your captain's log. What the fuck?
Yeah, right.
And Kirk is like, well, if I'd have known. And it's a whole. And they basically, Kirk is like, look, we had to save Spock's life. And then Pike is like, Kirk, you use luck to play God, and really reads him the riot act. And then
the whole topic comes up too is Pike was like, apparently there's supposed to be a volcano that's supposed to explode, pretty volatile. And he's like, and Kirk's like, yeah, but I mean, volatile is an adjective, it's relative. Like, who knows if it'll blow up? He's like, but it didn't. It froze.
He's like, because Spock detonated a thermonuclear fucking device inside the goddamn son of a bitch.
And you guys a fucking spaceship. And it reminded me of Bones like berating Kirk for being so reckless with his life.
Yeah.
But this all like leads back into what you and I love about, really what I love about Kirk too is that from the get-go, from the first movie, he is always breaking rules. He's always getting his way.
We got her back.
Yeah.
I got her back, Scotty.
I got her back. It's fucked. It's like ever since the get-go, every single movie, there is some rule that he bends or breaks.
Yeah.
Like just the fact that the simple reporting thing happens, I was like, okay, wait, you got to remember, it's an alternate universe. Like,
well, plus this is such a
this
good
is a weird Spock Kirk dynamic. But go ahead.
No, you're right. It's definitely different than their dynamic in the original series, and this is a huge. It's huge. Pike takes the Enterprise away from Kirk. They're going to send him back to the Academy. I don't know what that means, to teach or just to like go through the Academy as like an old.
Oh God,
wouldn't that be crazy? Like you'd be like, hey, aren't you the guy that stopped the Romulan that was going to kill everybody? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, but you're like at the Academy again. And they're like, can you buy us beer? Buy us synthahol?
Yeah.
I forgot what I was going to say when I interrupted you earlier. Now I feel bad.
You're good. It was something about how Kirk was just getting punished. And like, this is kind of the universe of Star Trek being like, hey, Kirk, stop breaking the goddamn rules. Like, obviously, it's the prime fucking directive.
Well, plus, it's Kirk says, I've never lost anybody. And it's like, right. Dude, don't you realize that when you say that shit, and now he loses
everybody,
a bunch of people, and he himself dies.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's it comes back around at the end.
So anyways, drama ensues. Yeah. Kirk loses ship.
Kirk loses the ship. Spock's going to get reassigned.
Yes.
And then we see what Mickey from Doctor Who is up to.
That's back to London.
And Khan is taking his own, or this guy, Mr. Harrison, spoiler alert. He's taking his blood and he gives it to Mickey, and Mickey, this is gross.
I didn't even realize that.
Oh, you didn't?
Of course. No, yeah. I mean, of course it all makes sense now.
Yeah, no, he takes his blood. He gives his blood to them, and that brings her girl.
And that's why the Tribble comes back to
we already know how it's going to end.
That's kind of weird.
So there's a very strange scene where Mickey from Doctor Who puts the blood of Khan in this bubble of fluids that's going into his daughter.
Imagine waking up to that being like, what are you doing, honey?
I don't think that's how medicine works.
Oh my God, babe.
And then the little girl survives, right? And now it's like,
God.
Oh, well, everything's fine now.
Oh,
and this guy's just got this Mickey. He's just got to go to work in a Federation archive like nothing's wrong.
Maybe he's just going to steal a file, you know?
Oh, yeah. So he's clearly kind of something's going to happen.
Oh, he's sweating a lot.
He's very sweaty. And then he sends a transmission from his desk with tears in his eyes. And then he takes a ring off his finger, a Federation
and all this
ring.
Music is building up to this peak.
And then he drops the ring in the water and in a cup of water, and it turns into like insane Alka-Seltzer, and it explodes and it kills this. It blows up the whole archive. Right? It's bananas. It's very violent.
It's a massive explosion.
It's like, this is 12 years after 9/11.
Yeah.
And so
it cuts right to a clever shot of Kirk dropping his ice ball into his club.
Before that, you actually see the archive explode from inside the guy's daughter's room, and there's a picture of their family in the foreground, and the archive's blowing up in the background, and fucking, it's awesome, dude.
It's like, it's crazy how they couldn't pick which starting to go with, but I think these were like two crazy events, right?
Well, I think that they
just needed to highlight to coincide to push the plot.
They did a great job. The only reason Alan and I keep talking about multiple openings is because I completely forgot about the Nibiru stuff.
That entire scene.
And then I just thought that it opened with Mickey from Doctor Who, and then there was hijinks, but they did the hijinks first, and I think it's
Kirk
good.
Always has to be in trouble.
Yep. He's always working from being
in
trouble.
This scene at 19 minutes blows my mind.
Well, remember in the first one when Pike talks Kirk into joining in a bar?
It's
same shit.
No, and it's also the whole like, he goes, oh, you almost got your ass kicked or something. And I was like, no, he almost died. And also the fact that he can just quit and then roll back up on the campus.
Well,
and like, Kirk hears every step of the way, like, wow, Pike really defended you, or Pike really stood up for you. So this whole thing is just shocking to me.
Well,
and it's hilarious.
It's funny because Kirk is like banished to the academy for not even a day.
It's been 5 hours.
Yeah, he's having a drink and Pike comes in and he's like, they gave the Enterprise back to me. Spock's been reassigned. I want you to be my first officer. And so Kirk, they have a funny bit, and then Pike gets a distress call that's like all senior staff for the Federation has to go to a meeting in San Francisco.
Like, come on, first officer, let's go.
Yep, he's like, suit up, let's go. And they've just both been drinking.
Yeah, right. Real fucked up, but I mean, it's just a meeting.
So this is a great scene. They go to an emergency meeting of all the Starfleet heads. Spock is with his new captain. Oh,
yeah, it's awkward.
In the previous scene, Pike makes a big deal out of, just like he was talking about Kirk playing God a couple scenes before that, he's saying like, Kirk describes when he got his ass kicked in the first movie as like a good fight. And Pike is like, there's not a good fight. Like you're fucked up, dude. Yeah. Like you shouldn't want to fight. And that becomes a big part of what happens later. But at this meeting with all these people, and
oh, sorry.
No.
Right before that, too, though, the meeting, it's funny that you say that Kirk kind of gets confronted about his character. Kirk kind of confronts Spock about his own character, too, of like, hey, man, I know you're half Vulcan, but like, if somebody saved your life, I mean, come on. You can bend a rule here a little bit, you know, have a heart kind of thing.
He's like, the human side of you shouldn't have stabbed me in the back, basically.
Right. But it's really weird.
There's a great moment.
I can't lie.
There's a great moment because Kirk is just like, Spock, ultimately, man, I'm just going to miss you, dude. Like, sucks. This sucks.
Yeah.
And then they go to work. And something I have to point out, Admiral Marcus, the head honcho, he's played by Peter Weller, who was in RoboCop and Buckaroo Banzai and Naked Lunch. Fucking genre actor supreme, one of the best voices in sci-fi. Absolutely crushes every scene he's in this movie. RoboCop. Just an absolute acting clinic. And they're all together in this room investigating the explosion at the library. And Kirk is like talking to Pike, and Pike is like, "Shut up!
Yeah, they're not whispering."
Trying to. And then
it's like, why an archive?
Basically, Kirk is like, "Why an archive?" Oh, and also pretty funny that only 42 people died when that huge building blew up.
Adam was like, "Damn, that whole building got leveled. That was crazy."
It looked like there was more than 42 people in that shot. You know,
seriously.
And then, of course, this was all a ruse and con attacks.
Oh, it was perfect though how they built it up.
Mr. Harrison,
Mystery Man,
Mr. Harrison, they call him.
Yes. And so then Kirk was like, wait, if he attacks the archive, that must mean, and if he also worked at Starfleet, that must mean that he knows that all the senior officers during emergencies meet on this floor.
Meet right here.
In this building.
In this room.
Right at this time. And
if somebody was going to ambush us, now would be the perfect time to, oh shit.
Right as we're all sitting down on our chair. Oh, clear the room.
Awesome J.J. Abrams action sequence ensues.
Proper.
Khan blows up a bunch of cheap higher ups.
Yeah.
Spock mind melds with Pike as he dies.
That part was dark. Oh yeah. Proper lens flares.
Yeah, good use of lens flares in these. When the red ship comes, or when the ship comes up in the background,
scary.
And Chris Pine, Kirk is like, clear the room, and then some explosions happen. I really like how Kirk solves the problem. He like ties a fucking fire hose to a gun and just throws it in Benedict Cumberbatch's engine. It's a really good
it's sneaky how he beams out.
Yeah,
of the
he beams
ship
out
right as he perishes, or right as that ship lands or crashes.
And then we see where he went.
They should do that more. More bad people should do that.
They should. Well, now
they can.
Now
right?
transwarp beaming is a thing. Ooh. Yeah. Well, we got to talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
So then the guy who we find out later is Khan. That's fine. You've seen the movie. You've seen the movie, and so he long distance apparently transporters from Earth to a planet that we find out to be Kronos later. But you look at it, it looks like Kronos.
Mm-hmm.
And then Pike and Scotty meet up, and Scotty's like, I found a transwarp beaming tube, and it says he beamed to Kronos. And Scotty's also like, how does he have my fucking transwarp beaming equation, motherfuckers?
Yeah.
And that's a huge deal later. And they can't go to Kronos because of the Klingons.
Because he worked at Starfleet.
Right? Yeah, we find out later he worked that, and that wasn't. Oh, and in that scene, we also found out that wasn't an archive in London. It was a secret facility where we were making crazy weapons to fight the Klingons. And then you see on Admiral, and so basically, there's a great scene with Spock and Kirk and Admiral Marcus. And Admiral Marcus gives Kirk command of the Enterprise. But at one point, you see on Admiral Marcus's desk, it shows like all of the spaceships from the Wright brothers plane, Kitty Hawk, all the way up to the fucking
Super Omega Enterprise.
the crazy ship at the end that almost kills everybody. I love it. You just see a model of it because you know that was like 3D printed from the model that they used for the 3D effects of the ship later. Like,
yeah, it's
fucking
clever.
rips. But so they he gives Kirk back the command of the Enterprise with a weird directive. He says, I'm going to give you these fancy ass torpedoes and you're going to go to Kronos and you're going to go to this uninhabited part of Kronos and you're just going to blow up this Harrison guy and no one will be the wiser and then you come back.
But don't start a war, okay?
And don't think about it. And don't think about it all too much because everybody says it's a bad idea and we're going to start a war with the Klingons.
But don't stay there too long.
Yeah, what are we gonna do? And then Spock gets reinstated, and then we meet this new lady. What's her name? She's Carol Marcus, but she goes by something else because she's in secret.
Right.
We meet Alice Eve's character, this beautiful blonde lady that talks her way onto the Enterprise. And she's a science officer, and Spock is like, but I'm a science officer. We don't need another science officer. Right. It's like two people can do science, Spock.
Yeah, Adam, you're just like
we're going to fight. Oh, she calls herself Carol Wallace. But 'tis not. They are deceived. And here we go. So then they get the Enterprise back, and this is where shit gets bananas.
Yeah, this is right as the movie starts to kind of get jogging in terms of like dark twists and turns, and shit doesn't really work out for Kirk and the crew, really, rather than like Spock and Vulcan getting dissolved and shit.
This is like one of my favorite scenes in the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies. So
this conflict kicks everything off, too.
Scotty is in the engine room, and he's refusing to sign for these torpedoes that Admiral Marcus made Kirk take with him. And him and Kirk really get into it, and Scotty's like, I don't know what's in the torpedoes. If I don't have the spec, I'm not going to fucking sign to have them on my ship.
Yeah, this feels weird.
And
doesn't make any sense. I'm the engineer here. This is my fucking ship.
And Kirk says, I'm ordering you to sign for the torpedoes. Scotty says, I'm going to resign. Do you accept my resignation? And Kirk says, yes. And that's it. And Scotty just really resigned. 36 minutes into the movie. Scotty resigns, and when and because he's saying, look, the warp core is super volatile. We don't know what fuel is in those torpedoes. We don't know what they are. And then he's like, Kirk, don't fire those torpedoes. And then he leaves the ship, and it's like, well, Simon Pegg just not in the movie anymore? Holy shit, what the fuck is going on?
No, what's crazy, too, on a rewatch of this is that as they're arguing, when Kirk's arguing his point, the camera's slightly tilted. And then right as Simon Pegg, Scotty's arguing his point, the camera's upright and horizontal.
Yeah, Scotty is like dead on, straight up and down, and Kirk's at a little bit of an angle because Kirk's view is askew, and Scotty is steadfast and knows what's going on.
Yeah, and that's when it gets really sad, too, and just, apparent, and when shit starts to go down, because now Kirk is leaving without his engineer, you know?
And he gets in the elevator with Uhura, and he's like, Scotty just quit, and she's like, what?
Yeah.
And then he goes, and your boyfriend's second guessing me. Oh yeah, her and Spock are together in this. And he's like, your boyfriend's second guessing me, and she's like, it's not just you, man. And he's like, you two are fighting? What's that like?
That's so weird.
And then the door opens and Spock is there, and there's a your ears are burning joke.
Yeah.
So what happens next? Chekhov is now the chief engineer. That's hilarious.
He comes up to Chekhov and he goes, Chekhov, you remember shadowing Scotty down in the engine room, right? And he goes, yeah, I think I did for like a month. And he goes, you know enough, right? Because you're gonna be the new officer,
chief engineer.
You're my chief.
You're my chief. Go put on a red shirt.
And he goes, oh, okay.
Dude, it's fucking great. And also,
Yeah,
it's
and
kind
then
of
he just
funny that, like,
signs.
why wouldn't he promote somebody that's, like, you know, in engineering? I think that's pretty funny.
Yeah, I was like, it's the movie thing, though. On the Star Trek show, Kirk would have just been like, okay, cool. Next in line.
And then Spock confronts Alice Eve's character and says, I know you're Carol
Yeah,
Marcus.
he's like, hey, come on now.
And he doesn't immediately tell Kirk.
Yeah, which is very strange.
I like it. It's funny because he probably thinks, like, logically Kirk doesn't need to know yet. He's got other shit to worry about.
True.
I'll keep my eye on this.
As a first officer.
And so they're on their way to Kronos with these fancy torpedoes, and then there's a coolant leak and they get blown out of warp, and they're about a couple hundred kilometers away from their they're like 20 minutes in a shuttle away from their destination, right?
Yeah.
So they pull out this shuttle that they got in the mud encounter last month. So this is kind of cheesy and dumb. It's a little bit cringe almost because it's just an announcement over the PA that's like, we go prepare that shuttle that we got in the mud encounter. That's not what they would say. They would just say the name of the shuttle or the bay where it is. They would just say whatever shuttle bay it is. They wouldn't be like the ship from the mud thing.
It's pretty ridiculous.
So what they need this ship for is they're going to use it to head down to Kronos.
Yeah, navigate the planet looking for the baddie.
Yeah, Mr. Harrison.
Yes, Mr. Harrison. We'll call him Harrison.
Yeah.
Try to keep it together.
And it's interesting because Kirk puts Sulu in charge, and Sulu is immediately a badass. He has to play a game of poker with Harrison because they're basically saying so Kirk changed his mind. He's not going to kill Khan. Like all Admiral Marcus wanted them to do is just shoot the torpedoes where Khan is supposed to be, or Harrison's going to be. That's it, right?
And again, this is Kirk already breaking his command.
But he decides because Scotty really got a bug in his ear about this whole thing about the torpedoes. So Kirk decides that they're going to go apprehend Khan instead, and Spock is like, "Good choice, man. You're doing the right thing." And so they have to pose as traders, merchants. And it's like two red shirts who are literally wearing red shirts, and then they have to put costumes on. And then Spock, Uhura, because she speaks Klingon, and Kirk, they head down to Kronos, and there is a touching scene between Sulu and Spock, or not Sulu, touching scene between Uhura and Spock, where he's like, I did not want to die in that volcano, and I was very sad to think of not being with you, and I do love you, and that's why I have to do the things that it's a whole thing.
Yeah,
watch the
Kirk
fucking
was
movie.
just like, oh wow, well, okay,
we're doing this now.
Okay,
great.
Yeah, and then they kept talking about like, well, and Kirk goes, yeah, Spock, you really haven't been that open lately, and they're just having a heart to heart, and I was like, man, aren't they at work? Like, what's happening?
They're on their way to cool. They live at work.
Yeah, and then they get shot at.
And Sulu is like, I will unleash the full payload of 72 torpedoes. If you test me, you will fail. And he's great. And Bones is like, remind me never to make you mad, Sulu.
He's full of lines like that in this whole movie, Bones.
And then we get a Star Wars sequence.
There's a lot of Star Wars sequences.
There's the ships.
I like it.
When they fly down onto Kronos.
We gotta mark the time on that effect, though, that we both really liked.
Oh, when she gets out of the ship?
Minutes?
Yeah, hold on. Here we go.
So they fly around, they get caught, and at 50 minutes, there's this awesome fucking sequence of like this whole backdrop.
There's a very Star Wars-esque sequence. It's basically like they're flying the Millennium Falcon through this destroyed Klingon city, and they've got all these Klingon warbirds or birds of prey.
They do the whole maybe I could do sideways. It'll fit.
Yeah, they're very funny.
And, of course, it all works.
When they're going to land,
it's silly, but it works.
There's a great shot. The ship lands, and it's all one shot from the ship landing. The camera pushes in as the door opens, and Uhura is standing there. And then the camera actually goes into the ship for a close-up on Uhura, and then it turns around as she walks out. and follows her to go meet the Klingons, and
it
it's
even
all like one shot.
It follows the bounce of like the ship kind of like recoiling as it lands too, which is really hard.
Yeah, and it's very much like it's not a super long shot, but it's very well put together and it's well acted.
And,
she's great.
And her face is lit in like a bunch of, in that tunnel, so that way it's not, they don't have to deal with like reflecting all the weird lights with the atmosphere in her.
Yep, and then Uhura's got to try and talk their way out of this with the Klingons. It doesn't work, but we do see that the Klingons look badass.
Yeah, and then you think we're gonna shoot there. You think Starfleet's gonna shoot first, but then
Harrison shoots first,
dun, dun, dun.
and Uhura stabs a Klingon in the leg, and then we get a very cool action sequence where Doctor Strange has a laser Gatling gun, which, like you said, doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, wouldn't he just have a laser? Like, do you need the Gatling spinning thing to make the laser? And then I was like, maybe there's a bunch of maybe there's mirrors inside there, and it like refracts in the mirrors and amplifies the intensity of it. But he
leg
blows
sweep
up.
Was cool though. I like that.
Yeah, he does a leg sweep with the big Gatling gun. He also blows those Klingon ships just out of the air with one shot. It's fucking great.
Them. At first, it's like you feel like excited, like, oh, Harrison's helping or they're trying to catch him. And then it's like more and more Klingon ships come and more Klingon people are murdered. And you're like, whoa, they are going to
start a war. They are going to start a war.
And then Kirk is, right. You were going to say Kirk is captured by a Klingon.
Kirk is like,
his top half like falls on the floor of the Klingon and he's like, oh shit.
Dude, yeah, Harrison.
He's like traumatized.
Harrison cuts a Klingon in half right in front of Kirk. It fucking
some
rules.
hyper beam and he just levels 3 of them. It's sick.
And basically, this Harrison guy is like, how many torpedoes did you say there were? And they're like 72. And he's like, I surrender.
Yeah, immediately.
Freaky. And then Kirk beats him up. And it's pretty great because he's clearly not really doing any damage to this Harrison fellow. But
it's heartbreaking.
Kirk is like wearing himself out, beating the guy up.
Yeah.
They get back up onto the ship. Uhura and Spock kiss. And then they go to talk to this Harrison fella. Bones takes a blood sample through a hilarious. That's a great effect. So Harrison is in this cell that's like a big plexiglass, and there's like a little round piece of metal, and Bones just moves it into place, and then expands it like on an iPad, and this hole opens up to take the guy's blood.
Yeah, I wish they showed the hospital or the medical part more.
Dude, the sick bay. They should spend more time in sick bay in the movies. So
that's
they don't
like their jail cell, huh?
Exactly. Yeah, this is the brig.
The brig. Yeah, excuse me.
And basically, this guy he just gives Kirk coordinates, and he's like, check out these coordinates. There's stuff you don't know. I can help you. And then this is hilarious because Kirk fucking calls Scotty, who's getting drunk in a bar.
And he's like, why should I even listen to you? What reason do I have to listen to you? And the Harrison's like, I have 72 reasons.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? Oh, shit, the missiles. Okay. And so then he goes and calls Scotty.
Yeah.
And this whole sequence is cool because you see this whole outshot of all these different aliens kind of making out and hooking up and some people going to and from the bar. And I turned to Adam and I was like, they added so many extras and like so many cool effects just for this cool backdrop of Scotty being at the bar, just complaining about getting kicked out.
Yeah. The person who did the set design and the casting for the extras and the costume design, it's really good. Yeah. Really good. And Simon Pegg is so fucking good in this movie. This scene is great. He's really like making Kirk apologize or trying to make him apologize. And so basically Scotty's clearly going to go check out these coordinates.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
And so then they're trying to figure out what's in those torpedoes because now Kirk it's on his mind.
And then there's a connection between the old Star Trek movies and this one because Bones and Alice Eve's character, Carol Marcus, they're going to perform surgery on a torpedo.
Yeah,
and it's just like in Undiscovered Country when they made that special torpedo and Bones had to go do stuff to it. Fucking love when they do that. I love when they do
Yes.
little things from the other thing. And then Kirk watches Alice Eve change clothes, which is a bummer.
Yeah, and also she brings up Christine Chapel.
Oh yeah, because apparently Christine Chapel had to move to the other side of the universe because Kirk is such a dick.
That makes sense, though. That tracks.
It's funny because Bones is like hitting on Carol Marcus as he's talking about how great his hands are and shit.
Yeah, he's like, I'm so cool. I did birthing on this alien.
Yeah, he
Don't
says
worry about it.
he said he birthed the Gorn, and it's like, no, you didn't, dude. Gorns are born like the aliens from Alien. We now know.
Hey, no, but do you know what I was thinking too? This could be the alternate universe Gorn.
Well, yeah. Well,
But that's the J.J. Abrams block, I feel. Is that any criticism? He usually be like, but it's an alternate universe, though.
yeah, maybe. But I mean, it's where the timeline splits, though. They knew what the Gorn were before the timeline split. And I'm going back to find my notes for this.
So while he's kind of performing surgery on this missile or this torpedo here, what's her name?
Carol Marcus.
Carol Marcus. Carol is telling Bones to cut a certain, wire, like the 30-second wire from this like part. And as soon as he cuts it, his arm gets trapped. And there's like this terrifying sequence of Bones being like, what the fuck is going on?
They can't beam him up. The missile is armed. They can't beam Bones up.
And they have 30 seconds before it explodes.
And then Carol Marcus is just like, let me do this. I know what I'm fucking doing.
Yeah,
and she pulls this thing out of the torpedo and stops it. And then
she
we
literally
find out.
proves her worth.
Just like everybody's had to so far. They've all had to kind of have a moment where they prove their worth. And then you find out that inside that torpedo, there's a dude in there. Man. There's a dude in there. What the hell? And we know, why they would find a dude. Like, so when I first saw this, let's talk for a minute about like the con of it all.
Oh, yeah.
When I first saw this, they did a pretty good job of hiding the fact that he's Khan in the like materials leading up to like the trailers and shit. Mm-hmm. They call him Harrison or whatever, and he was even on IMDb credited as Harrison instead of Khan until after it was released.
Well, yeah.
And so when as soon as I saw that there was a guy in a tube, I was like, oh, it definitely is Khan. And you kind of know that already. There's been more than enough hints.
Well, just like all his super moves and the super.
Yeah, I feel stupid. I feel dumb even saying like that it was surprising because it wasn't. It was just how they did it was good.
Yeah, it was very smooth.
And then I saw the dude in the torpedo and I knew I was in good hands. Like, okay, so it is Khan. It's not some. I was worried they were going to do something Khan-esque and they wouldn't just fucking do it, but they did. And Benedict Cumberbatch is great.
Yeah, he nails the role.
Yet another Star Wars-esque scene. Scotty goes to those coordinates in, I guess, his own little ship that he has. And or he rents a smart.
Maybe he stole it.
Well, you know how those yes, there you go.
But also though, he's like you saying, he's flying in, and then Starfleet's like, oh, hey, you're here for the maintenance check on this part, right? Correct?
Well, they're talking to other people. They're not talking to Scotty's ship.
Oh, I thought they were.
No. So Scotty just watches all these ships come into this big structure that's out by Jupiter. And then he sees something huge and scary, but we don't see what it is yet. But I bet it looks a lot like that ship on Admiral Marcus's desk. And this is when when Kirk goes down to confront Khan, and he's like, why was there a man in that torpedo?
Yeah, what the fuck's going on?
And so Khan explains, I'm a remnant of a past. I was created for such and such. We were cast out as criminals. Here's what I don't like about this.
Yes.
I thought that the original show did a much better job of showing us what Khan was about and his importance to like human history than this movie does. Like all of the little conversations that they had in the original series about like, well, there were these 27 fucking people that basically carved up the world, and Khan was the worst of them, and how they all knew who he was once they knew who he was. Like I feel like they don't have that. It doesn't have the Khan in this doesn't have the historical significance that he did in the original series. Like,
what do you mean? Doesn't he build like a bunch of weapons? In this universe?
For this, yeah. Like, but I'm saying like he doesn't seem to have historical significance for Kirk in them.
Yeah,
in the TV show, Kirk was like, we learned about Khan in school. You know, like in...
Oh, that's right, because he was like, we heard that crazy story about all these superhumans.
Yes, they
and we
knew.
shot him in the space, or I guess they stole our ship, but we never heard from them.
Yeah, they thought
Their ship looked just like this.
They assumed that they died.
Episode was.
They assumed that they died in the World War. They died in the war or whatever, but they got away in the Botany
and
Bay.
Was it? Spock was the first one that brings up, though. He's like, wait, why wouldn't you check to see if they're actually dead? And Kirk was like, I don't know, I guess we just figured.
Right? and so this is the other, that's just...
So what's the comparison to this movie then? Because you're saying they find Khan in this universe, right? Because Vulcan explodes?
Yeah, but that doesn't have anything to do with like his cultural significance, because I think that they just didn't have him be as culturally significant in this, and that's fine. It's a choice. Right. But what you're talking about is they explain it now. The reason they find Khan, so Admiral Marcus found Khan like after Vulcan blew up,
right?
Because he was like, oh shit, if these Romulans from the future had this kind of weaponry, we have to go out and find any other threat that we can identify. So Admiral Marcus's people found the Botany Bay like years ago.
I'm trying to think too.
And they put him to work. They put Khan to work.
They brought up Mud. They brought up Nurse Chapel. So like a couple of the Tribbles.
Oh, there's a Tribble that we'll find out about later.
There's obviously time that has passed in between this first movie and the second. So I'm trying to piece it together. Probably right after the first one, then I guess, if you tried to look.
Oh no, this is like they say it. It's like 5 years after the first one. It's the amount of time between the movies. It's 4 years later. Mm-hmm. They've been on a couple missions with the Enterprise.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
No
I was just
problem.
trying to like piece it together in my head.
And I think this is probably takes place around what would be even before the original series still. They're just accelerated everything. Mm-hmm. They get into stuff sooner. And Benedict Cumberbatch does this great monologue where he describes how Harrison used him, and he held my crew against me. And he's like, there's like one shot where he like starts crying at a specific time in the scene.
His eyes and his face and his wrinkles. They go crazy.
So he pulls out the world's smallest violin and plays this song, this sad song about how he was unthawed by Admiral Marcus, and Bones and Kirk are like, but you're a murderer. And he's like, I was used. Is there nothing, Kirk, that you wouldn't do for your family?
Is your crew not your family?
And
he's like, I mean, I guess, yeah.
So basically...
And fucking Spock's like, this is a trick, dude. He's trying to trick you. And Kirk's like, no, I don't know. He's all right. But then
Kirk
he gets
knows,
pushed to it.
The thing is, though, this whole time,
Kirk
knows
he's a bad guy.
He knows that he's going to
push to it.
He has to align with him for their... Because...
This movie is great.
It's very well put together.
Yes.
The story is airtight.
Yeah.
And then so now, remember, the Enterprise is currently disabled in Klingon space. They have Khan in captivity. They're on the edge of the neutral zone. And they are disabled because Scotty is finding this coolant leak that Khan basically says is clearly sabotage from Admiral Marcus.
Though. It's Chekhov.
Chekhov. That's right. Scotty is wherever he is. We'll find out in a minute.
Exactly.
So then Admiral Marcus shows up in this jet black, huge super ship. It's very cool. It's very much like a Darth Vader kind of ship.
Mine's bigger and it's black. It's like evil,
dude.
Just kind of brings off that evil presence.
Yeah, man. It's definitely menacing.
It's longer,
and there's a great exchange between Kirk and Admiral Marcus where he's like, "I mean, you're here to rescue us, right?" Yeah. And then they go back and forth, and of course, Admiral Marcus is there to kill Khan or take him, and then kill everybody else. He beams his daughter off the ship. And then he's just about to open fire and totally lay waste to the Enterprise when suddenly the big mean ship's power dies and then Scotty calls the bridge and he's like, I'm over on this crazy ship and I just made it stop working. You got to get over here quick.
Yeah, I guess he saw the ship and must have just been like, I got to get on there.
Well, and so then they take off at warp.
To escape.
And then, of course, they get chased in
plot
the warp.
twist.
They get chased into the warp stream by this ship that can shoot at warp. There's a horrifying shot of people being pulled into the warp stream. And there you go, Kirk. You've lost people now, man.
Yeah, seriously.
Probably like 30 by the looks of it.
He jinxed himself as soon as he said that.
It's a really good set of special effects, though. There's the Enterprise being blasted and thrown out of the warp stream.
So they're 237,000 kilometers from Earth. So they're pretty close.
Yeah,
they lucked out.
Yeah, they just happened to get blown out of warp somewhere around the moon because they're
still getting shot at
because their communications are down. So they have to go tell fucking Starfleet what's going on.
Yes,
or else Admiral Marcus is just going to make them look like the assholes. And
and then she go and what is it? Carol
Marcus tries to talk him down.
She plays her card. She's like, Kirk, that's why I'm here. Like, just in case Admiral Marcus tries to blow us up.
And he just beams her off the ship.
She goes, "You would blow up your daughter?" And he goes, "You're right, I wouldn't." Beams her.
Oh, so I got this wrong. So Scotty doesn't disable the Enterprise until now. Or disable the other ship until now. So Scotty, we don't even know what he's up to yet. They just got the engines up and running at the last second in Klingon space, and they escaped into warp. And Admiral Marcus shoots them out of the warp stream, and then Admiral Marcus beams his daughter off the bridge, and he's about to blast the fucking ship.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
But then Scotty steps up. And there's some hilarious Simon Pegg running around this big cavernous ship.
Dude, you have to get me out of here. Like, they know I'm here. Duh.
Kirk heads down to sickbay where Khan is being examined. And Spock is like, "You can't align yourself with Khan. He's lying to you." And he's like, "I'm using him." And Spock is like, "He's using you." And Kirk goes, "I'm pretty sure you're right. He is definitely using me."
And Kirk's like, "The enemy of the enemy of my enemy is my friend."
Yep.
And he goes, Spock goes, "Yeah, but that's a proverb from a prince who got decapitated
by his own people."
And he's like, "Yeah, but that's irrelevant. I mean, it's a pretty good quote."
It's still a hell of a quote.
Yeah.
And then Kirk and Khan have this staring contest where they decide that they're going to what they're going to do. And Bones is in the background, and he's like injecting a tribble with Khan's blood, and he's like, "I'm seeing if Khan's blood can help this tribble." And Khan just has to listen to that.
He's like, okay.
Like if I was Khan sitting there while somebody was injecting a tribble with my blood, I would be like, "What?
Yeah.
And I would also be like, "Oh, I hope he doesn't figure it out. I don't want them to have immortality."
Oh, I know. And he goes, gosh, and he's just telling Khan, like, "I can guarantee your safety." And Khan's like, "You can't even guarantee the safety of your own crew, my guy."
Yeah, let alone my crew. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Let alone my crew too.
So they have to do this thing where Khan and like
a
Kirk,
set piece.
Yeah, it's definitely an action sequence. Khan and Kirk are going to wear spacesuits, and they're going to get blasted out of the Enterprise, and they're going to shoot across this debris field between the two ships, and then at the last second, Scotty's going to open this door, and they're going to fly into the other ship.
Yes.
And of course, a lot of problems ensue, one of which Scotty says, "The door, it's wee. I mean, it's really small." About 4 meters across. So now they got an even smaller door than anticipated. And they've got this debris. And
it's a long stretch of space that they got to shoot across here, and they have to line up both of the Enterprises too.
Yeah, they've got to line the Enterprise up perfectly, so Sulu gets them in position, and then Kirk and Khan blast across this debris field. It looks like Kirk's gonna die. Khan saves him. It's very dramatic. It's very dramatic and intense.
It's exciting though. It's cool. And there's a reference to the first movie.
And there's which is
where he goes, "Dang, Scotty goes, this is going to be impossible. It's like jumping out of your car into a shot glass
on fire
at the same time." Yeah, and Kirk's like, "Well, I mean, I kind of did the same thing before." And Khan looks at him, and Kirk's like, "It was vertically. It was
talking about
engine or whatever."
Yeah, he was talking about the drill, from what's his name ship. Yeah, the Romulan ship.
Yes, the Romulan ship.
And there's also a great Simon Pegg scene because he has to open this door at the exact second that the guys are going to hit it, or they're just going to get flattened against the ship.
It up too. It's so well done.
And he's got this security guard that's hassling him, and he ends up pressing the button at the last second. And this security guard gets pulled hundreds of yards across this because we saw how long this space was because Scotty had to run through it earlier.
Yeah, and it's like
security guard gets sucked out into space, and then Kirk and Khan roll in, and then we get Khan and Kirk working their way to the bridge of the Enterprise. And while they're doing that, Spock is like, I've got an idea to get we need the engineering staff and half the medical staff in the weapons bay. And then he asks McCoy about the torpedo, and it's like, what the fuck is Spock going to do with these torpedoes?
Yeah, he goes, you turned on a torpedo by accident. Can you do it again?
And then Khan, Kirk, and Scotty get to the bridge of the Dreadnought class warship.
Yeah.
And of course, Khan was just playing possum, kicks everybody's ass, crushes Admiral Marcus's head with his bare hands, cracks Alice Eve's leg.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so brutal.
Crazy.
He's like a movie monster.
Yeah, it shifted really fast.
And then he says, "You should have let me sleep." When he's got this insane look on his face as he crushes Marcus's head.
It's just this noise.
Yeah, it looks like
and
he's really
scream.
He's really trying to take a shit. It's like, that's probably where he got that motivation. He's like, imagine you have to take a shit so hard it's going to crush a guy's head. And then, of course, Spock and Khan go back and forth because Khan needs to get his crew.
Switched, yeah.
Khan needs to get his crew from Spock, right?
Yeah.
And Spock says, all right, you can have the torpedoes. Just give us Kirk back. Oh my gosh.
We missed one of the best parts, though.
What?
Was this before they launched him or after?
This is
when Spock Prime is like, hey, man, your adventures.
Spock Prime.
Yeah, when was that?
Okay, so before this stuff happens.
It was before, okay.
While Kirk is like trying to figure out some stuff, or Kirk is getting ready to go do the shoot to launch thing. This Spock reaches out to Spock Prime, and Spock Prime is like, I vowed that I would never give you any information that could change your future. That said, Khan's a piece of shit, and you should definitely kill him.
Khan is a psycho, and he will not stop until every single one of you is dead.
Yeah, it's pretty great. It's pretty great.
Like, oh, fuck.
I'm not supposed to give you any information that would change your destiny, but dude, for real.
What?
And so then that's when Spock has his idea. Spock's like, we have to have another layer of fail-safe here.
Yeah, but no, what cracks me up still about the Spock Prime scene, though, is that, I mean, the Spock from, this universe, he goes, have you ever stopped Khan before? And Spock Prime was like, yeah, at a great cost.
His original penis.
Adam was like, well, his own body. Yeah,
his original body. The original Spock penis is dead because of Khan.
Yeah, they grow a new one on a planet.
Benedict Cumberbatch is just putting on a fucking acting clinic in the last act of this movie when he's just totally off the chain.
He just turns up.
After he breaks that lady's leg and crushes that guy's head. Basically, he gets Spock to agree to send the torpedoes over.
And then he's technically is sending the torpedoes over.
And that's why Spock's not lying. He said, those are your torpedoes. And then Khan is like, Kirk, you can die with your crew. After all, they should not have to die without their captain.
Yeah, right.
And then he beams Carol Marcus, Kirk, and Scotty back to the Enterprise. And then, just as Khan is unloading his weapons on the Enterprise, Spock detonates the torpedoes.
Yeah, Spock's like, Enterprise, get ready for a blast.
Yep, get ready for a proximity detonation.
Yep.
And there's a great scene of like the Enterprise flipping around and people are hanging on and falling and it's just raining crewmen in the fucking, like, look at that shit.
The hell ship.
Absolutely. And there's so many good shots of like the Enterprise falling into Earth's gravity because now the explosion pushed the Enterprise towards Earth, gets caught in the gravity.
And the Enterprise runs out of power.
Yeah, the Enterprise doesn't have power right now, so they can't put on the thrusters or nothing. They're dead stick falling into the Earth. And Khan's ship just exploded, but he comes back later. But also, Khan has a very bad wig when the explosion happens in his ship, and he's like rocking around his bridge and like leaning over and stuff. He looks like he's got a bad Rammstein wig. And so Kirk and Scotty are going to the engine room because they need to realign something in the very radioactive engine room.
The warp core.
Yeah, the warp core needs to be realigned, and Kirk knocks Scotty out and goes in to eat the radiation.
Yeah, he goes, "You can't go in there, sir. The radiation would just already destroy us. That's why the fucking door's right there."
And so basically, Kirk goes in to realign the warp core. He knocks Scotty out. Kirk is getting radiation. He's got to climb into this thing.
Yeah.
He's kicking it. He's swinging and kicking
it. Yeah.
And kicking, and then he kicks it into place, and he gets blasted.
It snaps.
He gets blasted to the side, and there's a great shot of the Enterprise falling through the fucking clouds, and then they engage the engines, and it comes back up. And oh man, they save the day. But
the theme song's good.
Right?
Anyways, when Kirk's kicking that warp core, it reminded me of iRobot, when Will Smith was like doing the arm thing and he went to the center of the core or whatever and was like, you don't remember that? He falls down this giant beam and like grabs this shit.
I don't know that I ever watched that whole movie and paid attention.
It's more action than sci-fi, to be honest, because it doesn't get too cerebral with the robots after the 3 rules. But it is a pretty dope movie. And I was like, yeah, got a little bit of that, I think.
Maybe I'll put it on some Saturday morning.
Yeah,
instead of cartoons. I watch movies. No, there you go. I fold my laundry in the laundry room.
There's a dope action scene, though. Lots of dope action scenes in that movie. Probably a few.
Same thing with, I didn't really like Minority Report either.
Really?
I rewatched it, and it's like the action scenes are good, but I don't really like that movie.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, he's fine.
Anyways, so yeah.
So then this is where we get kind of the first ending of the movie, right?
Yes.
There's multiple endings here. So the Enterprise is now safe and out of danger. And then Scotty is like, Spock, you better get down to the engine room. You better get down here right now. And you find out that Kirk is dying in the radiation room. They can't open the doors. It's keeping the radiation back. Spock and Kirk have this very heartfelt moment. Mm-hmm. They do the live long and prosper hand through the glass as Kirk's face is like, and Kirk's face is melting from radiation. And then Spock does the Khan yell, and it is not great. It's such a beautiful, emotional scene. And then he does the Khan yell, and you're seeing his face through the glass. So, like, his face is covered by the letters on the glass. It's just not a great shot.
There's a lot going on. The execution, the timing of it all.
It's such a... because the movie's so good.
Because even after that, they got to keep it going, you know?
I remember watching this in the theater and was like, that was a bad Khan delivery. Yeah. Because in this one, it's reversed.
It feels rushed.
In Wrath of Khan, Spock dies and Kirk says Khan. And in this one, Kirk dies and Spock says Khan.
But even in this one, though, it's even in the original, though. In the second one, he's Spock, or what is it? Kirk says Khan after
Spock dies.
The captain dies. No, not Spock. Remember when the captain gets vaporized and like Khan gets away? And he's in that tunnel, and he's like, "Oh!"
I thought it was when he was holding Spock's dead body, but I could be wrong.
That was a second time, probably.
Well,
the first time he screams and it echoes and all that.
Either way, Zachary Quinto doesn't nail it.
Yeah, I know.
So that's kind of the first sort of ending of the movie. They could have just been like, Kirk's dead.
Weird.
We stopped, but then boom.
This is when a lot of ideas get shoved in, you know?
Because now we got to resolve Benedict Cumberbatch's story. Khan crashes into the city of San Francisco with this ship.
And we were both talking about this for a while.
They do so many 9/11s in this movie. Like,
no, and it's like this whole place never thought that anyone would ever crash into this city.
Well, it's crazy that Alcatraz is still standing 400 years from now.
Yeah, right.
They just destroy Alcatraz, and then you're like, oh, the bay is going to stop. There's just this great shot of it just hitting San Francisco Bay, and it's just like a massive shovel hitting the water, and you're like, well, the bay will certainly slow it down, and it doesn't really.
It really spread the danger, in fact.
It's just like Godzilla-level fucking, just the ship just shovels up half of San Francisco. It's so many 9/11s. I just could not believe it. And then you're like, well, surely Khan is dead and that's the end of the movie. No, because now Spock's got to go chase Khan, right?
Yeah, he goes, wait, beam him aboard. And what is his name? Chekhov was like, I can't, there's too much interference and we don't have enough power, but I can beam you down. And Uhura was like, get that son of a bitch.
Yeah, so he beams Spock down to go get fucking Khan, and there's a chase through destroyed San Francisco.
And Khan's running after, or Khan's trying to escape, and Spock's running right after him, and it's all intense.
It looks very Star Warsy too. The freighter that they land on, all of this stuff. This
happens to be flat and wide enough.
Yep, for them to fight on.
Battle.
And Khan gets the neck pinch and doesn't go down. He just hurts him, and then he pulls his hand off, and they're fighting. And at the same time, what's happening, Al? Spock and Khan are fighting on a moving fucking platform.
And Bones sees the Tribble kind of twitch and wake up, and he's like, "Oh shit, that's the Tribble I put the blood in, Khan's blood in." And he goes, "We need an incubator tube right away." And Adam was like, "Wouldn't it be funny if they just dumped some fucking body just out of the incubator?
Just dump one of Khan's crew, we need this cryo tube. Dump.
Way more important.
It's like a ketchup bottle. You gotta they grab a butter knife to stick it up. Slap and it doesn't work. You gotta get a butter knife in there to get the guy out. And they put Kirk in a cryo tube.
And they put Kirk, yeah.
So right now, Spock is trying to kill Khan.
Yes.
Like they're fighting, right? And Spock can't communicate with the Enterprise. They can't communicate with him. They can't beam him and Khan. And they find out that they need Khan alive now to save Kirk.
Oh, right.
And they're like, we can't beam them up. And then again, Uhura's like, but you can beam somebody down. And then Uhura beams her ass down, shoots Khan a bunch with a phaser.
And he just twitches like the Terminator.
Yep.
Like getting shot, and he just keeps moving forward. It's so scary.
He turns around, and of course, Spock gets up and bonks him with something super heavy. But before that, there's a great sequence where Khan is trying to crush Spock's head, and at the same time, Spock is trying to mind meld with Khan to control his mind and get him to stop doing it. Fucking great.
He does it.
War of wills,
Yeah, seriously.
And that's when Uhura shows up behind him, and I like their transporter effects in these. We've never really talked about
smooth.
that, but the gold spirals or whatever.
That's cool.
And then
it gives it a 60s effect too.
Once they're, yes, absolutely. And how they go up and down, it's like a xylophone kind of. Yeah. And so Spock is just going to kill Khan. And then Uhura's like, wait, he's the only way we're going to save Kirk. And then it cuts to black after Spock uppercuts Khan to knock him out. And then we hear Pike saying, your dad was captain of a starship for 12 minutes. He saved 800 lives. You think you could do better, son?
It's given like an anime or something.
Right? And then J.J. Abrams likes anime. And then Kirk wakes up and Bones they're in a Starfleet hospital. Yeah. And it's so funny because Bones is wearing Starfleet hospital gear. And it's just like a white robe. It's just bananas that Bones would wear such a thing. It's just no way he would wear that. No fucking way, dude. He'd be like, give me a regular ass t-shirt, seriously. Please. And so it's a whole thing.
And he's like, you don't feel like a psychopath, right? You don't want to take over the world or anything. And Kirk's like, I'm fine.
No more than usual.
Yeah.
And so we find out that
it's been
Khan
2 weeks, right?
Cryo frozen. Yeah, Kirk's been out for 2 weeks.
They must have saved a bunch of San Francisco people with Khan's blood.
Exactly. Yeah, and
that's what Bones casually says. Oh yeah, I made a serum, so you're good.
Yeah. So, but now.
Now it's everywhere.
Just like in the first movie when they got the transwarp beaming equation, right? Now they have a serum that can just revive
cure
anybody.
Cancer, radiation.
To just revive. Honestly, if it can cure that much radiation poisoning, it can cure anything. Yeah. So now they can beam across the galaxy and they're immortal.
So those are the two
It's
tokens.
pretty fucked up. Like, why is anybody in Star Trek Beyond, the next one that we're going to watch?
I wonder what trick they'll get there, though.
Why is anybody worried about dying there? They don't have just a jug of con blood on board, like in case, or they can synthesize it. And
they have the fucking turbo lift from Mud's Adventures. Like
the shuttle.
Yeah,
the turbo lift is the elevator. It would be weird if they got a specific elevator from Mud, like he was trying to sell him an elevator. And there's a great scene, of course. Spock comes into the hospital where Kirk is, and he's like, "I'm so glad that you're alive." And it's very much like Spock gets it. Spock understands why Kirk lied to save his life
at the beginning.
Yeah, so it all comes back around again. And so this is ending number 3. And then we get a little addendum where Kirk is giving an address about rechristening the new USS Enterprise. This is like a couple months later. It's 2 hours exactly in, and then we see the new Enterprise, and they're going to get their 5-year mission to seek out new life and new civilizations. This is something I wanted to talk about.
Yes, go ahead.
Kirk says, and then I'm going to these cadets or to all the Federation people that are at this memorial. He's speaking at a memorial for the people that died in San Francisco, right? And he says, and now I will recite the captain's oath. And the captain's oath is space, the final frontier. Yeah. It's the intro. And he's doing that as they're like showing the new Enterprise and shit. That's not what an oath is.
Yeah, that doesn't really fit.
An oath is a pledge. Like, there's no pledge. He's not pledging to explore the galaxy.
This is just the intro.
He's just saying what their mission is. That's not an oath. An oath is, I pledge an oath. Like the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah.
It's not an oath. It's
or like
just,
a saying.
He could have just said, and then I read the traditional captain's poem or whatever. But
right, whatever. Or what is it? What is that? The Cree? Like a slogan.
Yeah, or a creed. Yes.
A creed.
Yes.
There we go.
A captain's creed. That would have been.
Hey, there we go.
Hey, J.J. Abrams.
We figured it out.
Hire me to punch up your 10-year-old movie. But yeah, so then we see the new Enterprise, and it's beautiful, and they're getting their mission, and Alice Eve is on the bridge, and everybody's at their spot. Scotty and his little alien friend are in the engine room.
Everything's right. Added a new member to the party.
All is right with the world. He says, "Mr. Sulu, take us out." And then they warp out.
Sick
fucking warp.
Speed.
Sick warp into the credits.
Warp, yes.
It's light speed.
Speed warp.
It is. That's what it is. It's each level of warp is a multiple of light speed.
Oh.
So warp 1 is 1 times light speed. Warp 2 is light speed times 2. I think that's how it is. So warp 10 is 10 times the speed of light, if I'm right. And if I'm not, no one's going to correct me, because those kind of nerds I don't think listen to this. But so we get a great outro.
Yeah.
Fucking good. It's a new take on the original theme over the credits. I just thought this movie was an absolute banger. I love Scotty. I love fucking Bones.
Yeah.
I think that the Kirk Spock stuff is like cool, but like I'm in it for everything else too.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I don't know. It's 2 hours, right? I just feel like we were saying, there's multiple beginnings and multiple endings. Maybe there's a way they could have wrapped this tighter, but I kind of refer to this movie as like, it just kind of has like, it's like an onion. It has like a bunch of different layers, and like they all kind of click together and connect. Because there's no really B plot. The only B plot is like Scotty getting kicked out and then doing his own thing, which also helps the A plot anyways.
Alice Eve is pretending to be Carol Marcus is pretending to be somebody else, and Spock knows about that, and then he tells Kirk later, and Kirk's like, "When were you going to tell me?" He's like, "When it became relevant," which it just became relevant.
They don't get into as much of like, oh, are we the baddies with the Starfleet stuff too?
Right.
Just with the Scotty scene, which was great. And then, as we said, too, the effects have just been phenomenal, too. And the soundtrack, I guess my only complaint would just be it's a little long with the multiple beginnings and the multiple endings. But they just had to, they had to fit everything in there.
Yeah.
Like, they just had to cram it in.
Yeah, I think it was great.
But it was still good.
The pacing, the structure of the script, everybody's
pacing helped.
motivations, how it comes down to just a very simple Vulcans and humans are just different. And there you go. How many, if you had, we haven't been rating the movies really, but how many big black spaceships do you give this?
What are those things called though?
It's a Dreadnought class ship.
Dreadnought class ship. Dreadnoughts.
Yeah.
I'd probably give it, I mean, this is better than 2009. Mm-hmm. But the con scream and I guess the length of the movie would probably be my two biggest gripes if I was really picky. So maybe like an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Or wait, are we doing out of 5? Or
we usually do 1 to 5.
We'll do 4 out of 5.
I would say it's like a 4.5.
4. Yeah.
I loved it. And I thought that Benedict Cumberbatch just absolutely fucking ripped.
Fucking drilled that movie.
And he gives such a layered performance, more layers, because he starts on one level, gets to a different level, ends at a completely different level.
He's crying.
Than where he starts. Like, and I'm talking about like after he crushes Admiral Marcus's head and shit, right? Like that guy started saying, "I can save her" to Mickey from Doctor Who. And now he's like breaking a lady's leg and crushing a guy's head.
He's crying about his crew like 15 minutes ago, you know?
Yep. Absolute banger. If you haven't watched it recently, check it out.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Very good.
It's entertaining, exciting. There's a lot of the actions. Oh, that's probably the thing then. Maybe the action's slightly long, you know, but it is all set in good parts and good places, you know. It's exciting.
I honestly,
Star Wars-esque.
So I usually walk out of a movie like this that's this long saying it could have used one more action sequence, and I do not have that.
No,
hold on,
airplane. Oh yeah, we got an airplane over.
Airplane. Yeah, I think that what was I saying before the airplane?
Well, it feels like a long movie.
Oh,
but everything makes sense.
Yeah, so
like,
usually
there's nothing out of place.
Like usually I would go to a movie like this and I would leave saying, "Oh, they should have had one more action sequence if it was going to be that long." Because I'm like, there should be an action sequence every 30 or 40 minutes, and they really fucking did it. They did the pacing right on this, and
they
I
have
liked
so
it.
much things happening in between the characters anyways that they have to finish and complete. Like they get rid of Admiral Marcus and then we were like, okay, now what? Okay, the ship's broken. All right, now what? Okay, well, they do have to deal with Khan.
They're going to destroy San Francisco.
Okay, now they got to go deal with this. And then now they're going to San Francisco, but now they're saved, but then Khan's in the way and all this shit. And it's just, it all like comes together at the end really well.
Good.
Like the movie could have been a disaster.
Good structure, yeah.
But it was, really structured well.
And you really see, like, when you watch the J.J. Abrams Star Wars that came out, like, 2 years after this or 3 years after this, you really see that, like, the action in this looks just like the stuff in the Star Wars he would do later.
It's just, he just needs good guides. It's just good writing. Like, that's all it is, you know?
It was good.
But
I
anyways,
liked it.
Yeah, it was very solid. All the crew was well. It's funny too, though, and you were saying this about the last movie and about this one too, is that everyone does so well that unfortunately Zachary Quinto is. I don't know. He's all right.
He's just
hanging
fine.
in there.
Yeah, Kirk. It's just he's just being outacted, I think, and it's
the car.
Khan. But he was Skylar on Heroes. He's good. We get it.
Okay. That's true. He works hard.
So that is our take on Star Trek Into Darkness. And now, if you're listening to this for the first time, thank you for getting to the end.
Thank you.
But we usually recommend some kind of media or something. Al, what are you listening to?
Vampire Weekend came out with a new album, so I was starting to listen to that. Called Only God Was Above Us. So that was kind of interesting.
Have you been into them? Did you like all their other stuff?
Oh, I loved it from the beginning. Yeah, ever since I was a little lad. In middle school, actually, the A track or whatever, or A train, or I forgot what it was called. I
never got into it. Oxford Comma.
Oxford Comma is a good one too. They call it like yacht rock. Where it's like rich people music.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Where it's like over the top and just kind of in your face. Like, you know, I guess aesthetics wise, but they do kind of nail it in the indie sense. Let's see though. Oh, Krabin. Kronbin. I can't pronounce it. It's KHRUANGBIN. Like Kronbin. And they do like really neo soul, like funk kind of psychedelic rock. And this album's called A La Sala, which is like, you know, in the kitchen or in the living room. And the album cover is just like a peaceful window with clouds outside. Here, Adam, look.
Oh,
and it's just
that's cool.
really
That's a cool
chill.
cover. I like how that's...
it's framed really well.
Yeah, it's the Fibonacci sequence. It's the rule of thirds and shit, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yep.
Anyways, so that's a really good album you should listen to, A La Sala. And then let's see. Oh, yeah, I guess Doja Cat added like a little, you know, extra music to the mixtape that she already has. That's out. And then let's see, Raymond Pang released a new album called, let's see, where was it? Life Cycle Waves. Honestly, I'm like still trying to read and run all this back because there's been so much new music.
Cool.
Been
Yeah.
playing Shadow of Mordor too.
There's a lot going on. Good music references.
Yeah, what about you?
Good music Rex, buddy.
Thank you.
I am listening to, I'm watching this anime Black Clover that I think maybe I've mentioned as a reference, as a recommendation before. The new episodes of that just dropped on Hulu, even though it was on Crunchyroll or whatever before that. I ain't got no Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
But it's on Hulu and it's fucking great. Black Clover. It's kind of like that Familia Myth that I was talking about earlier, but there's like way more episodes and it's much more like feel good, heartfelt shit.
Okay.
Absolutely love it. And I still am just loving the Final Fantasy VI Pixel remaster that I'm playing on my iPhone.
Nice.
Love it. So that's it. Final Fantasy VI Pixel remaster. Watch Black Clover. The new Invincibles are good. I haven't watched last night's episode.
Watch Invincible.
But yeah, so that's it for this week's Trek in the Valley. We've got at least one bonus episode left. I want to do Star Trek Beyond.
Okay.
Because that's one that I know the least. I did see it in the theaters.
I think that was one of the weakest.
I saw it. I don't like it that much, if I recall.
Yeah.
I know I've watched it once since I saw it in the theater on opening weekend.
And they do the whole Prime Directive, like crazy alien deal.
So that's one other thing that I want to mention about Into Darkness then, just really quick, is I totally forgot what I was going to say. So it's gone.
No. I have an idea. I have one question. If, let's see, why did you think that second beginning was the real beginning?
Well,
why is that locked in your head?
Just because Mickey was in Doctor Who, I think.
Right?
I think it's just because I like that actor.
It's such a solid scene, too, though. You forget about everything, you know? Like, just that sequence of him saving his daughter and then dropping the ring and the music and all that. That scene is really good.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Solid movie.
And then so next week we're going to talk about Beyond, and then we might take a week off and come back for season 3, Spock's Brain. I've heard that's a very bad episode.
Spock's Brain?
That's the first episode, Spock's Brain.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so thanks for listening. we really do appreciate it. Check us out on Facebook. We have a Trek in the Valley Facebook group. Do everything that you hear in the bumper, and have a good day.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye. Peace. Trek in the Valley is executive produced by Adam Ordall Quinnell and Al Hirt. Theme song by Al Hirt. Recorded by Adam. Mixed and edited by Al. Check the show notes for our socials, and you can email the pod at trekinthevalley, all one word, @gmail.com. Like, subscribe, review, and always explore strange new fucking